How does that work? I mean, come on, we're not imperialists, but we're doing imperial things.
Exactly.
Well, Randy, there's a period, it's called the Empire period. It's gonna happen. But the Empire period has to be short-lived. And when it leaves behind, it has to be a global republic. People will not accept a global government and a global republic unless the empire is allowed to come into existence, at least long enough to threaten them and to make them accept it.
Is that what the Bible refers as the beast ruling the world?
Yep.
For 1,000 years?
It'll be promised peace, but then it'll bring war. And the kings of the east shall descend and come and to destroy Jerusalem.
Nice.
And then the hand of God. It's an interesting prophecy. I mean, it's not in your standard Bible. You hear inferences to it in Revelations. But if you want to hear the whole prophecy without the editorial, you know, so that you can interpret on your own, you have to read the Gnostic Bible.
Or you have to go back in time and travel and talk to Nostradamus.
Nostradamus was
He's one of them.
who did try to understand the Gnostic.
He is a true...
He never got them all right.
True spirit traveler. He traveled through...
You're talking about he's a member of the Enlightenment after the Dark Ages. That's not back in Jesus' time.
I'm sure people have actually time traveled just to talk to Nostradamus. Man.
Well, Randy, what they've done from the future is just crazy. I don't want to get into it because then the whole thing sounds much more manipulated than it should be.
Right.
But there's an explanation for that. See, there's a rule about time travel, which is this. When you can't change it, the question is never taken seriously because the option doesn't exist. Once the option does exist, the power to make the change suddenly becomes very tangible. It's like talking about having a gun versus actually having a loaded gun in your hand.
And actually, Nostradamus only saw up till this year, past 2000, right? Or actually a little bit past 2000.
Actually, his
how far did he see?
Goes into the year 36, 39.
No way. Damn, he went far.
His last prophecy talks about an earth that is being consumed by the Soles Maxis, which means the sun at its maximum will be burning and evaporating whole oceans.
Oh, nice.
And yeah, in other words, he talks about a time in which it will be impossible to live on Earth, and the sun will be basically destroying life on Earth. And that will be the end of life on Earth. And that's his last prophecy, because his life on Earth comes to an end.
Yeah, life is meant to go throughout space travel.
He actually literally prophesies that the sun will expand and make Earth unknowable.
Oh, yeah.
I guess he said, well, there's nothing really else to talk about after that, is there? So, he's not the only prophet that talks about...
What about space travel, though? Humanity goes throughout space.
Well, actually, in his original prophecies and that original timeline, mankind getting off the planet going on space, that adjustment came later. You know, humanity dying off, God didn't like that. So I have to rewrite history again.
Oh.
Shit, Randy, you do not want to go into just how many revisions have there been? A lot. Not a handful. Not 2 or 3, not 2 or 3 dozen, not 2 or 300. We're talking about shit. I'll give it to you like this, Randy.
Oh, but God doesn't make mistakes.
It's like revision is the standard practice, and there's been so many revisions I wasn't even there. I'm a recent addition to these new revisions. You want to know the truth? I've only participated in a very small percentage. And I've done it many times. And if I'm just a drop in an ocean, no, I can't even begin to describe the fucking number of times that this fucking shit's repeated. It's ridiculous.
True infinity.
Well, no, there's actually a limit, but the number is so ridiculously high that it seems that it must be infinite. But that's only because there's nothing I can relate it to.
Huh.
I mean, if I sit there and say, well, look at the stars in the sky. No, that doesn't really, no, because your brain can imagine how many stars it sees.
Yeah.
And kind of put a number to it.
Yeah, they've taken photos of actually a big stars.
Sands of the
Yeah.
Earth.
Yeah, communities of stars.
Okay. Conceptually, the sands of the Earth works pretty good, but literally, it falls far short.
Yeah,
The real number
that's
is much bigger than that.
yeah, that can actually physically be counted because it's still
How
physical.
about on all the sands of all the worlds and all the universe? If you were to count all the sands,
It's still physical.
you would begin to start to make a scratch in the number.
Yeah.
That's realistic number. But you see, it's ridiculously high. It's like, okay, there's no point in saying how far back does this go. Too far to even worry about.
Only the mind of God could understand.
That's yeah, exactly. That's don't worry, that didn't involve you.
You're not a god.
You're not gonna be.
You're
So
not
don't
a-
worry about it.
You're not a celestial
Kinda
being,
like mommy and daddy says, don't worry.
and a celestial being of pure energy and light.
Let's see, God is not light. Light is a physical manifestation, and God is not physical.
Yeah.
But wait a second, they talk about enlightenment. They meant understanding, stupid.
Yeah, light is enlightenment.
Gaining knowledge, becoming understanding. But why do they use the word light then? Because it was a concept they figured they could relate to their the people in the church, the
Right.
followers.
God is not in the clouds with a big beard and big white robes,
Yeah.
watching down, looking at you.
Dawkins
He's not there.
says
He's just not there.
that God doesn't exist. I said, right, you're right. That God doesn't exist.
Yeah.
But that doesn't prove that the God that they're trying to explain doesn't exist.
There is a creator.
Their explanations suck. That's all.